welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses. Today I was just moving the fence a bit here to give the horses some extra grass. You know, they've had limited grazing over the summer because too much grass, too strong, getting too fat, being careful of laminitis and horrible things like that. So now the grass is not so rich, and of course they're out for shorter time. I've just moved the fence and they're happily digging in. Biscuit, the other two, where's the other two? Are just in behind there. Anyway, I was just, as I was doing that, contemplating life, as you do, and feeling so grateful for the time I can spend with my horses and for everything they teach me in life, you know. Horses don't lie. And two things that came on me recently from different learnings that very much agree. And I suppose when you get to the truth of things, if it's real and it's your truth, then things that you like are bound to agree. So the first one was an interview with Brannaman, and at the end the interviewer asked him if there was something he wanted to leave for people, like a last comment or whatever, and he said, always do what you say you're going to do and don't lie. I loved that. Always do what you say you're going to do and don't lie. And it very much agrees with the first agreement from the 4 agreements of Don Miguel Ruiz. And that one is always be impeccable with your word. And it's also quite a Humaniversity thing. They always say, you know, the first thing I learned there, be total, be authentic. And I thought, oh wow, that is horses. So I think the most important learnings we have from horses is a true way to live our lives. And, you know, the spending time with them and observing them and how they are, it's, of course, they're so much simpler than us. You know, they don't do all that overthinking. And I'm sat here in the wet grass. Don't go over the top of me, Biscuit. You just want to eat the bit of grass I'm sitting on. He's like, I've got a whole patch of grass here. He wants the bit I'm sitting on. You know, there's so much we can learn from our horses. And of course, when we're working with them and we make that our life, or we just have our own horse, you know, I really think it's our responsibility to be the best version of ourselves that we can. And the only way to get good with horses, a bit of straw hanging off his rug's annoying me, is to spend the time, you know. Ride as many horses as you can, work as many horses as you can, observe as much as you can. Of course, read and study, but it's the doing of it that is the only way, you know. Theory just doesn't cut it with a horse. Practice, 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 and preferably perfect practice. That's the only way. And just observing them in general, you know. And there's so many things we can learn from them. But this, for me, is one of the most important ones. And I loved it with these two things that just came up. I'm always going back to the 4 agreements. And of course, I'm always searching things on Buck. So that's how those things came along. And, you know, being out here with them today, watching them, and thinking, oh God, as humans, we complicate life so much. So, of course, we can only be responsible to do our best for ourselves and live our lives in an authentic way that matches our values. And, you know, other people will do what they're going to do, but we don't need to change or not do our best because other people aren't, you know. Everybody's doing their best. Everybody's in a different way of life and different thing. I wondered what he was going to do there. But of course, we can depend on our horses always to be total and authentic and not lie, and be impeccable with their word. They always are. So that's important to remember, you know, to listen to them, to pay attention to them and believe them, you know. So often people say things like, oh, my horse is taking the piss, or, oh, my horse is winding me up. You're like, no, horse is just being a horse. That's human interpretation. So we should be careful not to put our human interpretations onto our horses. listen to them, believe them, you know, pay attention. And what can we learn from that? So anyway, that's my offering for today. Thank you for joining us. Horses are wandering off. I might just sit here and enjoy this lovely autumn sunshine for a bit longer. And yeah, little pause, little moment of peace is always a blessing. So keep on tuning into the light, and I look forward to see you next time.